Dumelang. I want to take this opportunity to do this question 1.1. My main focus is only on 1.1 because I've realized that when we integrate questions to some extent, some of us get lost in the questions. So the only thing I focus on, these are the questions on 1.1. Now, our 1.1 questions is mostly solve for x. Now, on solve for x, there are a number of things that we need to take into consideration. Every time when you see this solve for x, first thing that should come into your mind is factorization. So now, when we factorize, there are two ways in which we can factorize. We can factorize by means of using brackets. So I'm just going to use this as another method of factorization. Now, the second method that we can use for factorization is by means of a quadratic formula. So now, I know majority of us, we can factorize by using quadratic formula, but it becomes difficult for us to factorize the brackets or by using brackets. Now, looking at the questions that we have here on 1.1.1, if you are given brackets, if you are given your questions in terms of brackets, this means that this problem already has been factorized. So they factorized this for you. So what you need to do is to find solutions. So you only need to find solutions. Now, how do you find solutions? If you are given 2x minus 1, x plus 2. Now, in this case, because already we refilled the brackets, it means that already these brackets, the problem has been factorized. So, the answer. Now, how do we find answers? We simply go and write 2x minus 1 equal to 0, or x plus 2 is also equal to 0. Now, from here, we are going to take this negative 2 and bring it on this side. We are also going to take this positive 2 and bring it on this side. By so doing, it means that this side will be left with x equals to, when we move a negative number to the other side of the equal sign, this negative will now change to positive. So it means we are going to have positive 1. And when we move a number from a positive to this side of the equal sign, it means that the sign is going to change and it becomes negative 2. So in other words, you end up having 1 or x is equals to minus 2. Now this one is not completed because we are looking for x and we are not looking for 2x. It means that we divide both sides by 2, which is the number attached to x. Now when we say 2 divided by 2, the answer is 1. 1 multiplied by x, we have got x equals to 1 over 2, or x equals to minus 2. Now this is the solution for this problem. If I may repeat this, if we solve for x, it means that you need to do factorization. But in cases where you are given brackets, especially optionally, it means that the problem have already been factorized. When I can get the answer. So, and that is how you find answers. Now, let's look at 1.1.2. 1.1.2 is given by 4x squared minus 3x minus 5 equal to 0. But this comes with a statement saying correct to two decimals. I'm not much concerned about the value of the answer. I'm very much concerned about how you work out this. Now, on question 1.1 and 1.2, we factorize by either brackets or quadratic formula. But ge o ka bona ba o file statement se, wena o tseba gore statement se always this statement se nyaka eng? Se nyaka o šomiša quadratic formula. You must use quadratic formula. It's a must. Very important. Every time when they say correct to two decimal places, you must use quadratic formula. It's a must. Must use. It's a must use. So now, how is the quadratic formula being written? It means that quadratic formula x is equals to minus b plus minus root of b squared minus 4ac all divided by 2a. So this is our quadratic formula. But now, from here, we need to substitute. Now, what is it that we are going to substitute? We are going to substitute values that we have. Now, how can we the quadratic formula on its own? Initially, the value of b, the value of a, the value of c. Now, what are a, b, c? What are these a, b, c? The number here, ya go tsamaishana le x squared, re bitsa gore ke a. Then the number together with the sign, the number ya go tsamaishana le x e tee, re bitsa gore ke b. Then a constant number together with the sign, the number ya go tlhoka x, re bitsa gore ke c. Now, if I substitute this into the formula, it means that go ngwala x squared equals to, now we have this formula already thomaga negative. There is our negative. But from there, the value of b. The value of b is minus 3. So I'll write them ka color John. Then from there, we have plus. Let's use plus for now. Because that's about modima calculator o ka spell it pedi. Minus b, okay, minus 4. Take it ngwalang black ke tša o tla le formula. Then in number a, we have 4, ke number a. Then we have 5. All divided by 2 into a. Now, this is our substitution. If you check, in terms of this, B is written twice, A is written twice, but C is only written one time. So now, I will write the format of the answer here. So this means that the answer for this is going to be, let's say, put negative. The answer for this is going to be x equals to value, comma, value, or x is equals to value, another 2 value, because they said you must correct to two decimals. So when they say two decimals, it means that after the comma, re nyaka bona nomoro tse kae tse pedi. Re nyaka bona nomoro ya mo le nomoro ya mo, nomoro ya mo le nomoro ya mo le nomoro tsa mo. So all in all, we'll have three numbers, but because there is comma, it means that between the first and the last two numbers, we need to see a comma. Now let's go to 1.1.3. 1.1.3 is on inequalities. So the inequalities re di bona kae? Less equal, greater equal. So maswao ka moka na ona a re botsa eng? Or we are working with inequalities. Now, first thing first, if reliability based on the question, we have got x squared minus 8x. Then ba re file leswao la rena shile ba re is less equals to 0. Now, I want to work out this in a simple manner where you'll be able to understand or now the mo. So ntwe re lebeletse mo gore we need to make sure gore we understand exactly gore na the inequalities di bereka jwang. So sa mathomo, how many terms are given? How many terms are given? In this case, if two terms are given and both has or have variable x, take out x as the common factor. Very important. Now we need to ask ourselves, Sorna, how many terms are given? If two terms are given and both have variable x, take out x as the common factor. Now again, if three terms are given, and in the form of ax squared plus bx plus c, we need to factorize using quadratic formula or brackets. Now from there, so we have this, we have that. Now, the answer with a negative sign is inequality changes direction. Now, we are going to do this reliability, the statement. Okay, let me say or here. It means that ge situation e tlo ba, but after snow deal with these two situations, the answer with a negative sign, its inequality sign changes direction. Only the answer with the negative sign. Keep in mind. Now, more we are given two terms. Both have x as the variable. We need to take x as the common factor. Now, let's write down the x that we take out. We say we take out this x as the common factor. Now we put brackets. Sign is still the same. Now from there, we divide this and this by the same x that we took out as the common factor. So it means that this x will cancel one x come rashalaka x. This x will cancel this other x rashalaka minus 8. Now x is less than 0 or x is less than 8. So this is our solution. So in this case, it means that the answer with a negative sign, so more arna an answer with a negative sign. Therefore, we need to take into consideration or x is less or equals to negative 8. Now, what does it mean? If you put 8, it means that you're going to get 0. Any value that you put here, I get 0. If you put 4, 4, it means that 4 minus 4, yeah, minus 4. Minus 4 multiplied by 4 is minus 16. So all numbers less than 8 will give us the solution. So I'm just giving an example of a number that is less than 8. But if we take a number like 9, so it's 9, 9. 9 minus 8 is 1. 1 multiplied by 9 is 9. So 9 is a number greater than 0. In this case, it will not be part of the solution. Now, what do we mean when we say the answer with a negative sign, its inequality sign changes direction? Ge le gore nka be re na le x plus 3 ba beile lesole ya mathomo ne tlo no ba yane x less than 0 or x mo re na le negative 3. Now leswao le ntse le tlo change for this one la lebella kae la lebella kwa, because the answer is negative. So when the answer is negative, the inequality sign changes direction. But now because our solution will be these two. Now let's look at again 1.1.4, which is 14 minus x plus 2 equals to x. So every time, let me write it in blue. Every time when you have this, make sure that square root is on one side alone. Meaning that you need to move any number or variable that is not under the square root to one side. Move any number or variable that is not under the square root to one side. So we've got the left hand side and we also have the right hand side. So this is left, this is right. So now re lebelela rena ke dinomoro tse dife tse le gore di ka fasa square root. Ka fasa square root re na le root of 14 minus x. But 2, this positive 2 is not under the square root. Therefore, we need to move this item equals to x minus 2. So we have moved any number or variable that is not under the square root to one side. And now we have made sure that the square root is on one side alone. Now from there, what do? You square both sides. From there, square both sides. So we're going to square both sides. Now, when we square both sides, what does this mean? It means that this 2 will cancel that square root. Then we'll be left with 14 minus x equals. But because we have squared this, it means that now we have developed two brackets of the same nature. Now, when we do this, it means that we can still say 14 minus x, and then from there, we do what we call we apply what we call apply FOIL. Now, what does FOIL mean? First, the numbers that appears first in your brackets, outer, the numbers that seems to be the last or outside, inner, the one that are found inside, and last. So ke tlo di ngwala o ya le ka mo ke tlo di draw ya le ka mo di color tse ke di dirisitseng. Now from there, sorry, not this. Now let's look at this. First thing, first, these are the first, then is x multiplied by x is x squared. Then from there, we have inner. Then we say, I'm not inner, outer, x multiplied by negative 2. We have negative 2x. Then we have inner, negative 2 multiplied by x. We have negative 2x. Now, Lastly, we have last negative 2 multiplied by negative 2, which is positive 4. Now, when we write this, it means that Romala x squared 14 minus x is equals to minus 2x is the same as minus 4x, and then plus 4. Now, if we write everything in black, we will have x squared minus 4x plus 4 minus 14 plus x, all equal to 0. So I took 14 here, to the other side of the equal sign. I also took this negative x and I also brought it this side. So it will change from negative to positive. Now, this means now if I group the like terms, I will have x squared negative 4x plus x is negative 3x. 4 minus 14 is minus 10 equals to 0. Now from here we are going to factorize. So you can factorize ka di brackets or o ka factorize ka quadratic formula. So now if I use the brackets, it means that globally 2 brackets. What are the factors of negative 10 that will give you negative 3? So factors of 10, 10 by 1, 5 by 2, 2 by 5, 1 by 10. Now, firstly, let's apply the multiplication. If I multiply, it means that this one multiplied by this is 10. This is also 10. This is also 10. This is also 10. But now my 10 must be negative. Now it means that if I say negative 10, negative, 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 negative 10 multiplied by 1 is negative 10. Negative 5 multiplied by 2 is negative 10. Negative 2 multiplied by 5 is negative 10. Negative 1 multiplied by 10 is also negative 10. Now I'm going to add negative 10 plus 1 is going to be 9. So it means that this one is not part of the answer. Now negative 5 plus 2. The answer is negative 3. So our answer must be negative 3. It means that Mokoren x minus 5 plus 2. So these are my factors because negative 2 plus 5, negative 2 plus 5. The answer is positive 3. Negative 1 plus 10 is also 9. So this one is negative 9. So this is not the answer. This is not the answer we're looking for. So the answer that you're looking for is negative 3. Now from there, or in simple terms, once we kgona to the factors of 10, 3, ke 5 le 2. The bigger number takes the sign of the middle term. The middle term has got the sign of negative. The number whole between 5 and 2 must also be negative. Hence, we say the bigger number takes the sign of the middle term. So in simple terms, you've got x equals to 5 or x is equals to minus 2. Now, take these steps and check again 1.1. Only questions to 1.1. I don't want to go to 1.2 right now. Yes, simultaneous equations so that I do not confuse you. I hope this video helps. Thank you.